Okay, just got in the kitchen. I had to pull out all these ingredients because it's chili time. I'm so excited. Okay, let me tell you the story behind this, okay? There's a story behind almost every chili that I do now because they gotta have a reason. They gotta have a special reason, okay? I wanna talk about this beer right here. It's called Clawhammer Oktoberfest. Now, I don't drink beer, but we're driving the Carolinas, right? And my buddy's talking about this Clawhammer Oktoberfest. Like, the stores out here in Tennessee, they get like 1 6-pack. It's like a small little batch that they run, and they spread it all over, and it's so hard to find. He says every year he has to get a phone call from his local store to tell him it's in, and they hold one for him. They're like really valuable. It's a Oktoberfest, like an autumn flavor. It's a Marzen lager. Is it a lager? Yeah. I don't know. I don't drink beer, so I don't know the terminology. But what I do know is, so we're in the car and he's complaining like, God, you can never get this. So like, I get it every year, and it's, it lasts. A 6-pack has to last an entire year. That's crazy. So the fun thing about it was, so I'm like, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we call the beer manufacturer and see if they'll send us some, or see if they have any more left, or where they might have it, or whatever. Let's call them and find out information about this beer right here. All right? People have paid like mega bucks for this one beer here. I don't get it. It's like a baseball card, I guess. Anyway, so I'm driving on the freeway and I look up on Google. I'm like, where do you get Clawhammer beer? Blah, blah, blah. Who makes it and all that stuff. And I find the brewery, and it's in, you're not going to believe this, okay? It's in Asheville, North Carolina. I literally look up from my phone, and a sign goes over my head on the freeway, says Asheville, North Carolina. Because we were coming back home from the Carolinas. So we're traveling through the Carolinas to get back home. And we literally were probably 40 miles away, maybe. It was like just a few minutes off the freeway was the brewery that makes this. And it was perfect. It was in October. So the story's great. So we get there, and they have it. And he's losing his mind. You would think he was a child on Christmas morning, okay? So I thought, okay, well, because I like to cook with beer, and the number one way I use beer is in my chili, okay? So I'm going to design a chili around this beer. So this is the Clawhammer Oktoberfest beer. I'm going to use these 2 bottles in my chili. I'm going to show you all the ingredients, and we're making it's called Clawhammer Chili. And that's how the story came to be. And that's what I love about the show, because I can do whatever I want. I can create any ideas from anything from my friends. It's awesome. So come on in, let me show you. Okay guys, so I'm pulled back with the camera a little bit so you can see everything on here. First of all, we got the 2 beers I'm going to put over here so you can see everything else. It's called Clawhammer Oktoberfest. That's what it looks like. Anyway, we'll put that off to the side. That's kind of the star of the show. And the meats we're going to be using is ground beef and pork sausage, okay? And it's got a medium heat to the pork sausage. It's not really, really hot, but it's got a little bit of a kick to it, okay? So we got that. And then we got cilantro. We're going to put squash in there. I got a can of jalapeños. Got my onions right here. Got my Rotel. Got the Heinz 5 bean, a couple cans of those. Chipotle and adobo sauces. You know this is one of my favorite things to put in chili. If you've never smelt the smokiness of this, you'll be blown away. It's not expensive. Grab a little can and drop it in your soup or your stews. It's really good, but be careful. It's really hot. It's Chipotle's, okay? Got some Marzano tomatoes that are peeled right here. And if you've ever made chili, you know that it's all in the seasoning. So we're doing Italian seasoning, minced onion back here, minced garlic back here, salt and pepper right here is the salt and pepper. Here's the chili powder. Here's the smoked paprika, which is one of my favorite ingredients also. So many good things. So let's take all this. I'm going to prep everything, put them in little bowls, and we're gonna make sure we got everything all chopped and opened up and ready to go. And I need to tell you about, once we get the pressure cooker, we're gonna be using our Ninja Foodie. You may have an Instant Pot. You may have grandma's old one with the little metal top that goes at the top. You may have that pressure cooker. I don't know, but we're gonna take this chili recipe, instead of slow cooking it all day, we're gonna pressure cook it for like 20 minutes. It'll taste just the same. All right, on to the next step. If you guys have ever watched Julia Child cook, what she does is she treats and seasons each ingredient. We're not going to do that, but this is kind of like Julia Child. So right now we're going to brown our meat before we apply it into the chili, and we're going to saute our raw vegetables after that in the fat left behind. So let's do that right now. Get a little bacon grease in there. There we go. We'll get more grease out of the pork later. I don't want to use too much. We'll let that, whoops. Make sure we got a flame. Yep, got a flame. All right, first thing we're doing is browning that meat. Okay, got it all melted and the bacon grease is right in there. Let's get our meat in there now. There we go. And to start getting that all brown and cooked and ready to go in the chili. Okay guys, just finished cooking up the meat. There was too much water in the pan, so I emptied the pan, cleaned it out, and I'm putting new bacon grease in there to saute the vegetables. I didn't want to boil the vegetables and all that water. I'd rather saute the vegetables. So let's get that lid again. Okay, and we'll be ready in a few minutes. Let's see. All right, here we go. Get those going. I'm putting the squash in at the same time. Get the zucchini a little softened. Get a little brown on the exterior, so don't move it around too much and let it get all toasty in that bacon grease. And then we'll move it to the pressure cooker. Okay guys, I got my sauteed vegetables I'm going to dump in here. There we go. Just sauteed them. They're piping hot. Now it's time for the fun part. You ready? Got the vegetables in there. Get our meat in there. That's a lot of meat. Wow. All the juices, drip those in there. All right. Then I've got my can of, it's got a great little marinade inside. It was the can of jalapeños. I chopped them all up. You can see how they're in smaller bits. Okay, we're going to use some of that marinade that they were using. There we go. All right. I got my Heinz 5 beans. Got 2 of those cans. Put one in. Okay. Here we go. Is it all in there? Yep. It's all in there. Get the other one. Get that one out. Take I also took my can of Marzano tomatoes that were peeled, and I chopped it up with some scissors. Some were a little bit bigger, but they'll fall apart in the cooking process. Taking my cilantro, putting that in there. Taking some Rotels. I got a few cans of the Rotel. I'm gonna put all that in there. Lots of tomatoes, lots of juice, lots of different flavors that I like. Okay. Here's our seasoning, all in one bowl. The onions, the garlic, the smoked paprika, the pepper, the salt. All of it's in there. There we go. And the star of the show, Clawhammer beer, Oktoberfest version. Get that all in there. There we go. Let that soak in. Get your other bottle. Wow, it's almost all filled up. Now I've got my chipotles and adobo sauce. That's a lot. That's the whole can. I'm not using the whole can. I'm just going to drop in a few pieces, okay? Because I want to get some of that smoky adobo sauce in there. That's about it. So just kind of eyeball it. If you don't like hot, don't use this ingredient at all. But if you like spicy in your chili, which I like a little bit of heat, you're going to want to use this. That adobo sauce is great. And get it all mixed up. Oh, this feels amazing. It's not even cooked yet. All right, guys, get your pressure cooker lid if it's a Ninja Foodie. If it's Instant Pot, just close it up. Okay, set this to seal. So, yeah, seal. Okay, plug it in. And cook this for 20 minutes on high. And I will see you guys in 20 minutes. Okay, guys, I just turned this off. It's been cooking for 20 minutes. So what you didn't see was I didn't have enough water in my formula. You have to have so much liquid in the pressure cooker so the food don't burn. So it warned me, it said water. So I had to add a little bit of water to this, about a cup of water, no more than that, and then mixed it up. So we're gonna take a look at it right now. It's been cooking for 20 minutes, went through the whole process. Water level was good, everything was good. Now we're gonna open the valve. Wear a glove like this or a mitten or something so you don't get a steam burn when you open the valve, okay, to the pressure cooker. There we go. All right, so all the pressure's been released and the little warning tab went down. When it drops, it means you can open this now. But when you lift this, it's gonna drip a lot of water out of the lid. I always tell people, tip it sideways, shake the water out before you move the lid, so you don't have water all over the floor, all over your kitchen, okay? Let me show you. There you go. See, there's a lot of dripping going on. Shake it out. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it smells delicious. You can see how it looks right there. Little soupy, little loose. But I had to add water because it told me to. It was starting to burn the food. So I'm going to let this thicken up a little bit. I'm going to leave the lid. See the steam coming out? That means it's going to thicken up as it cools. So let me grab a little bit for tasting. Grab a little bit. All right, so I'm letting this thicken up. Let's try it out and see how it came out flavor-wise. Here we go. Wow. Well. Whew. That's hot. I put chili powder in there. I put jalapeños in there. I put one or two chipotles in there. Wow. I may have made that a little bit too spicy, guys. I would, out of the recipe, I'd withhold the chipotles or withhold the jalapeños, withhold the chili powder, withhold one of the peppers. Whew. That's some hot stuff. Also, when it asked for water, because I didn't have enough water in here, I may have put a little bit too much in. It seems a little loose. more than I would like. I'm gonna let it cool. I'm gonna leave it open, let the steam keep coming out, and let it thicken up. So, but the flavor, wow, the flavor is amazing. If my mouth wasn't burning right now, the flavor would be like an A plus. So don't put as much heat. Withhold one of the peppers in the recipe. Yeah. So that's what I did wrong. I think I put a little too much water in, and it made it too hot. Trying to be honest, just trying to make the recipe good for you. If you don't want any heat, keep all the peppers out of this. This is an amazing flavor though. I'm starting to taste more and more. All right, so there you go. So I'm going to let that cool off and thicken up and maybe add a little paste, tomato paste for thickening. But I will see you guys in the next episode. That's my honest opinion. I really like the flavor. Too much heat, too much water. That's my bad. I'm sorry. But anyway, I will see you guys on the next episode, and you take care.